Welcome to one half of the brains. I will be your host for today. I happen to go under the alias Father Cheems, Father Derek, whatever you want to call me. Some of you know me as Big Head, or I'm glad you can't see my head in this hoodie. But regardless of what you call me today, I will be bringing you some Omega for you to enjoy.
Headphone warning, volume warning. Don't watch this around anybody if you're not supposed to be watching it. But I hope you're supposed to be watching these videos.
With zero concern for my safety, does this count? Does that count?
I couldn't jump in.
That was a draw 6 alley.
Come in. Yo, gang, you feel me? Need our motherfucking phone. That's physically savage.
I graduated in 2017. I'm currently
Oh my god, I don't even know what the objective
I've
is.
been in the Army for 5 years.
I'm watching somebody.
Hello, this is real me, or now Derek, I guess. Present Derek, if you want to call it that. But everything you just heard was from previous years on YouTube, a total of 2. YouTube and Twitch, actually. And I just wanted this next few minutes to be dedicated to talking about my experiences with that, and honestly, how much it meant to me growing and improving and always making videos. It was just the best experience ever. A lot of it was hard and a lot of it was very experimental to get into, but I think that was honestly the point behind my push and behind my drive, was knowing that I could fail so bad, I could fail horribly, I could fail 1,000 times over and really never get off the board, but I just kept trying, and I keep trying to this day, and I love it, and I just want to talk about why I love it so much. So here we go. As a kid, I was always very awkward. I was funny awkward, but I was awkward. So having friends and stuff, I mean, I had friends, but it was mostly just, I like to play video games a lot rather than go outside and go on play dates and stuff like that. Stuff kind of seemed lame. So rather than parks and basketball, it was Call of Duty and TV screens for a long time. And don't get me wrong, my mom might really get mad. Mom, I love you if she listens to this. My parents cared about me and cared about my health and stuff when it came to, going outside. I still got into sports eventually, but if I had a choice, I would absolutely spend my time parked behind a video game, just trying to figure out the nooks and crannies, cheats and whatnot. And at a certain point, I had played games over so many times, I didn't even care about the gameplay itself. I wanted to almost break the game. I wanted to see what made the game tick. I wanted to see how far I can push beyond the borders of this map. But at the same time, I wasn't Einstein. I was like 10, and I had the IQ of probably a small squirrel, so trying to articulate my curiosity was often difficult sometimes, but I learned. And even the reason I brought up Call of Duty so much is because it was one of the first games I remember even playing as a kid, and once I got behind it, it was like you couldn't get me away from it. I was hooked instantly. And my dad's a little gamer too, so he's like a nerd. He won't ever admit it, but he's a nerd. And so he was almost encouraging, and it was something we got to bond over, and every new Call of Duty release became a tradition and a celebration almost. But I wasn't an only child though. I had sisters. I have a lot of siblings, and putting us all under one roof naturally breeded conflict.
It wasn't incredibly often, but it would be times where it become who got to watch what at one time and who got to get the TV first to watch their movie, who got to play the game. And it always was just me against my sisters, to be honest, because they don't like video games. And we still even had our games that we bonded over, and I will still to this day hold my crown as the king of Michael Jackson's dance experience, not only on the Wii, but the Xbox Connect. When they hear this, they know where to find me so we can run it back. I don't care. I don't want to hear any excuses. Pretty much Ghosts and Thriller were the hardest ones on there, and I probably got 5 stars on both of them 3, 4, 5, 10 times. Gaming was always seen as a great hobby, but that's the messed up part about it was always just seen as a hobby and nothing really outside of that. So there would come times where it's like, I want to be a streamer, I want to be a YouTuber, and your parents will look at you like you're crazy. Which is okay. Honestly, it's absolutely okay as a parent to not fully understand what's behind that, because there's no real way to know it will ever work. So when it finally came time and I was on YouTube and I was getting old enough to understand what that was, that's what I wanted to do. That's what my dream became. It wasn't just being an astronaut or being a pilot anymore or being a teacher. It was, I want to make people laugh, and I want to do it in a way that I can enjoy myself. And the way that I can enjoy myself is through video games for hours on end. And at the time, every kid really felt like they wanted to be a YouTuber when they grew up, and it was kind of seen as that dream job almost. And the only difference between me and 1,000 other kids is I actually got there, and I was absolutely determined to create my product here. So what I would used to do is take my mom's old HP laptop and make most of my videos through there, and you can see it in my old videos. In my webcam quality, it was actually a laptop. And even before that, my iPad mini became a camera for a lot of my vlogs I used to post. And I can now confidently say I've been on the internet for almost 10 years now. Pretty much content I will never reveal on how to find exists out there from almost 10 years ago, just cataloging my thoughts on games and vlogs and stream trailers and just a whole bunch of what I would call evolution. And every single time I uploaded something, I felt great. I felt happy. I felt like the 2-3 views I would get were from people who actually wanted to watch and hear what I had to say. And back then I didn't get anywhere as near as much viewer feedback as I do now, which I really appreciate. But I would get a comment saying, keep up the good work, or LOL, probably from a bot or something, from some spam, and that would absolutely be what I needed to keep going every single time. And obviously with time you age, and I aged like a fine wine, and my content only really got better. And once I finally got my hands on my first real PC, I kind of skyrocketed from there, and it allowed me to obviously stream and play games at the same time rather than recording everything and just editing it in post and just putting it straight on there. It allowed me to get into a whole nother area of entertainment that allowed me to talk to people live and get feedback immediately, so I can ask somebody what I wanted to play and what they wanted to see, and they would tell me like that, and it was beautiful. It was something I'd never seen before and never experienced, and I loved it the first time I ever even did it. I had haters, of course, but I was never really ever discouraged by my family. They always told me to keep doing what I was doing and would tune in sometimes and would even
entertained me by watching my videos, which was crazy. Some of it was garbage, and I really appreciate you guys for doing that now, if you're even listening to this. And that was pretty much it for me. From then, I just kept going. And now, the next natural piece is for me to talk about my streaming situation now. And what's been going on and how Twitch, the inside life is. But you're going to have to wait to the next episode to hear that, unfortunately. So, but if you did like this one, make sure to please let me know. Send me feedback. I really appreciate you listening this far if you got here. It's a whole bunch of fun making content. It's really my favorite thing to do in the whole wide world. And I appreciate every time there's a listener letting me have their ears. And have a wonderful rest of your day. And tell somebody you love them.